Hello there. You've caught me admiring my Magic the Gathering cards for the first time in probably 5 years. That's because I've spent the whole week reading the new D&D book, Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica. And Ravnica is a setting from Magic the Gathering, and they have finally brought it into D&D, and it's a really cool book. It's really useful, really interesting, really cool world. And so in this video in Dicey Encounters, I'm going to give you my 5 reasons why you should play a game of D&D in Ravnica. So for those of you not in the know, Ravnica is a setting in Magic the Gathering, and in Magic the Gathering you have 5 colours of power: white, black, red, blue, and green. And in Ravnica, each of these 10 guilds are a combination of 2 colours. And those colours kind of denote the personality of the guild themselves. So you've got, the Boros Legion, who are red and white. The red is fire, it's aggression, it's, goblins and fast moving attacks. And then you've got the white, which is the order and the sensibility and the righteousness. And then on the other hand, you've got the Golgari Swarm, which is black and green. So it combines the kind of the necrotic death, the entropy of black with kind of the nature and the kind of the chaos of green. And together you've got this kind of Nurgle thing where everything's about death and decay and growth. So this is a really strong narrative for like a card game. Ravnica is one of the most popular settings because people identify with these guilds so much. So bringing it into D&D is such a cool idea. And I've got 5 reasons why you should give it a go. And if you want to just have a look at the book, what I did was I went to D&D Beyond and I paid $20 for the book itself. And then if I ever do start a campaign, I'm going to pay another $10 to get all of the extras that my players can use for character creation. So that's a pretty good way of just being able to just read it and see if you like it. So my first reason is that it's not Forgotten Realms. So Forgotten Realms is your standard D&D setting so far in 5th edition. If your players are getting a bit, a little bit tired of the setting, maybe they want a change of pace, maybe they want something just a little bit, maybe they want the fundamentals of their world to be different, then, maybe you should try a different setting, and Ravnica is one of those. In Ravnica, there are only humans and elves from the Forgotten Realms. All the other races are brand new. There's centaurs and minotaurs and big bluey guys I've forgotten the name of, elephant guys, like mutants, where you can have a mutant, you can be an elf with a crab claw or tentacles. Yeah, you like that? Not only the races, but the classes as well have taken on like a different style as well, depending on what guild you're a part of. So, for example, if you're a bard and you're in the House Demir, you're kind of a spy master. You might be a kind of an undercover agent who just lies to everyone and uses deception all the time. If you're in the Selesnya Conclave, which is the green and white, then you're probably College of Law, College of Valor. You're probably quite righteous, banging the bard drum as you march. And if you are Rakdos, then you could probably going to be some sort of fire-spitting performer who roams the land and probably, sword swallows and also stabs people. So that so it's kind of a really interesting. It takes all the D&D stuff that you know and your players know, and it kind of turns it on its head and gives it this really cool new flavor. My second point is that guilds kind of replace alignment. And this is one of the reasons I wanted to do this video, was because my last video about alignment, I finished that video, I edited it, I uploaded it, then I got Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica. I sat down and I read it and I thought, oh my god, this just answers all the things I just complained about. So how does it replace alignment? Well, joining a guild is kind of like, when you join a guild, you see you're part of the Boros Legion, you're saying, I am lawful. And if you're not lawful, there are real game consequences that will happen if you are not lawful. If you're a Boros Legion who's been abusing their power, then if your superiors find out, then you're going to be knocked down a rank. And the whole progression and ranking up within the guild and getting more power and getting more lackeys. In the Boros Legion, you can get a mount, you can get a griffin. There's a lot of reasons for players to want to stay how they are when they set out. Not only that, but the guilds are going to be giving the quests as well. So you're going to be getting people who in the guilds who are going to be similar to you. So you're going to be in this ecosystem of lawful neutral people within the Boros Legion who are going to make you want to stay that way, and it will give you a purpose and a reason to do so. It's not going to be something that you put on the character sheet and then you just forget about. And also the guilds replace the gods, and the guild leaders and the guild founders, some of them who are still around, are about as godlike as you can get. And you can meet them, you can talk to them, they can give you power. If you're a warlock, your guild leader probably gave you that power, I imagine. And if you're a paladin or a cleric and you're working for the Azorius Senate, who is the big guild that keeps all the law and order in the whole city, you will be able to, as a paladin, you will be able to see the consequences of your guild everywhere, and it's really easy for players to believe in that and to go all Judge Dredd than just thinking about maybe this god wants me to be good, so I guess I will do it. Third point is that the book gives ways for players to work together if they are in different guilds, but also if they're in the same guild. It gives you rollable tables and reasons for you. The reasons that you would have been joined together, like different people from different guilds. Why would you be joined together? What is that common cause? How would it work? In each guild section, there's what you think of each different type of guild. Not only that, you'll have bonds within your guild and without as well. So there's lots of cool ways that people can be in different guilds, but somehow connected still. And the book gives you ways for if you all want to be in the same guild, if you want to be a strike force together, it gives you cool ways and cool party compositions. So for the Boros Legion, for example, if you wanted a adventuring party, then you would, I'm quoting here, probably focused on combat, but also strong on social interaction. 1 or 2 soldiers, a medic, an ember mage would form the core of that strike force. A fire fist would be a strong addition, or might replace the fighter or cleric. A lightly armoured swift blade could help the group in situations involving stealth or exploration. So those are the names of the classes within that guild. Each guild has their own name. Swift blade is a ranger, fire fist is a paladin, medic is a cleric, ember mage is a wizard. So already, that flavour is already injected into your party. You're not a cleric, you're a medic. You're not a ranger, you're a swift blade. That is badass. And then another example, on the other side, Rakdos, black and red. A Rakdos adventuring party could operate as a performance troupe, performing a variety of activities under the cover of its nighttime shows. The Master of Ceremonies, Bard, is the public face of the troupe, with a number of performers, fighters, barbarians, rogues, or warlocks, doing their own unique acts. A Blood Witch, warlock, might take the place of a spellcasting performer, or assume the role of the Master of Ceremonies. So you can already see kind of how different one guild is to the other. One's like a fighting force, military fighting force. The other one's a performing troupe who worship a demon. Rakdos is a demon. And then there was the Golgari and the Izzet, and who are sciencey people. There's so many different styles to the guild that I think players are really going to enjoy exploring and finding out which ones they like. There's a really useful flowchart in the book that players can follow to see and find out which guild would suit them. If they were interested in science or nature, if they, not if they're good or evil, but basically that. If they like law and order or chaos. My 5th reason for wanting to play Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica is that it gets rid of the whole adventurer thing. It's something that I kind of struggled with when I came to D&D for the first time after playing Dark Heresy and Star Wars. What is an adventure? Who would go and just be okay, occupation adventurer, I'm going to go and ask people if they need help, or But even then, like, players don't do that. They just sit around in taverns and then say no to people who ask for help anyway. So like, what is an adventure? Is their economy entirely based on how much loot is left around in caves and local abandoned forts? So in Ravnica, being in a guild is essentially a job. They give you a living wage, and it goes up as you rank up. You've got an unmistakable goal to head towards. Even if you're in House Demir and you're actually a spy and you're lying to the whole party, uh, even then, you have your goals, you have your objectives from your house, and you will increase rank within that house. And the players can't give you shit for that because that's your guild. So yes, those are my reasons for wanting to play Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica. It's just a really interesting setting, and the book itself has so many cool tools as well. It has a really good DM section in it as well. There's a lot of stuff that I think should just be in the player's handbook anyway. It's so much help for players when they have to think about their character. And it even kind of suggests kind of a session zero where everyone sort of works out what kind of campaign they want to have. Do they want to be different guild members? Do they all want to be in the same guild? And it boils down to if they want to be in a fighty guild, do they want a fighty campaign? If they want an intrigue campaign, then the Orzhov Syndicate, who are basically kind of undead crime syndicate. There's so many different styles of adventure all set in this huge city. But I also really like the new subclass for the Druid, the Circle of Spores, because it basically turns him into a Plague Marine, and I love it. So that's it from me today. Come back next week for another video. If you want to read this, it's on my website, dicyencounters.com. And if you want to get the Guildmaster's Guide book, then head on over to D&D Beyond and get it for like $20. And for us in the UK, that's like £20. That was a Brexit joke. It even has a little starter adventure in it as well that you can just go ahead and start to get into the world, which is pretty good as well. And just a little channel update or message. I hope you're really enjoying these videos. I'm enjoying making them as well. If you have a suggestion for a topic, then just feel free to put it in the comments, because I basically just pick at random what I want to talk about. And I know that some beginner DMs, they have specific questions which I'm more than happy to go into. I just don't want to dive into a topic like session 0 and just spend 20 minutes talking about that if no one's really going to be that bothered. Anyway, I'll be off. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time. Until then.